Giants won yesterday, so let's talk about the Eagles, who continue to plow through their schedule. Yesterday's victims, the Denver Broncos. Carson Wentz threw for 4 touchdowns, and newcomer Jay Ajayi ran for 77 yards and a touchdown as Philadelphia crushed Denver 51-23. Nick, are you now convinced the Eagles are the best team in the NFC?
No, I'm not convinced they're the best team in the NFC. I'm convinced they were great yesterday in a game that I thought Denver's defense could keep them close, and they were up 44-9. Like, they dominated this football game. They were outstanding yesterday. But
they're not the best.
No.
All right, who's better than them?
Right now, there's not a best team in the NFC. Right now, you can make an argument for
so they're all the same.
I'm not saying.
So that's what came on this show to say. You know something? All the teams in the NFC this year, they're the same.
I'm not saying they're. What I'm saying is
Nick, right?
CC, what I'm saying is the only reason we look at Philadelphia different than, say, the Rams, a team that people think is good but not necessarily great, a team that people think is a good story but not a Super Bowl contender, is 1 versus 2. 1 loss versus 2 losses. And the margins in the NFL, to me, are too thin to simply say, well, they have the best record, so they have to be the best team. Show me the Eagles-Rams comparison. Because I don't hear anyone. The Rams put up 51 this weekend. The Rams kicked the crap out of a team.
Well, let's just say the Rams are better then. Let's make one team better.
Why wouldn't you say
because
the Rams
I don't think they're the same.
Hold on. So just look at this real quick. Points per game, 2nd, 1st. Yards per game, 5th, 3rd. Opponents' points per game, 12th, 9th. Like, the statistical profile is almost identical. You could even argue the Rams have a slight edge in it. But nobody this morning is saying the Rams are favorites in the NFC. The only reason people are saying about Philly, and they're a good team, is because they have the 1 loss and everyone else has the 2 losses. That's not how I'm going to do this math. I'm not simply going to say the team with the best record is always the best team. We know that's not how it works in the NFL.
Okay.
But that's how it works to get into the playoffs? That's how it works to get through the season? That's how it works.
This is how it works, Jenna. You actually see the teams that are leading their division, which the Rams happen to be 1. They're only 1 game ahead of Seattle, who he doesn't think is very good.
No, I
the
think
Saints
Seattle's
are leading their division, Minnesota. And they're the Eagles right there. You see that? They have to win. Right now, if we start the playoff, they have to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl against these teams. It's not like some mystery teams are coming in. All right? There is no team in the NFC that can even say that they're better than the Eagles. At this point in the season, we can make a proclamation. We have enough body of work. And the reason why the Rams and the Eagles aren't the same, how many games did the Rams win last year?
The Rams last year, they won, what was it, 2 games? 4 games? I don't quite remember. I know they
Now, the Eagles had some injuries, but they got off to a fast start. And we had far more confidence in Wentz going into the season than we did Goff. All right?
Well,
so even if we started those teams out on the same path, we would say, you know something? The Eagles are a better football team than the Rams. And I just used the Rams because you mentioned them with your graphic.
The big difference is the Rams added a new coach. They added Sammy Watkins. Jared Goff went from the worst quarterback in football. Show the Goff-Wentz comparison. Wentz has been better, but not dramatically so.
Dramatically? 10 touchdowns, Nick?
That's the one.
10 touchdowns that changed your career.
Got it.
I mean, if this is the halfway point and Wentz throws for 46 touchdowns, the other guy throws for 26, like, stop playing, man.
But you also can't scoff at a record. The record is the record.
The record is what.
All right, when it's time to get into the playoffs, they're not going to be like, well, which team really feels like the best team? No, they're going to say, who's got the best record?
This is the same way when New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, like all these teams ran out to a big record. Green Bay did this.
CC, but I know for a fact last year when a team with a young quarterback was out to the best record, you didn't think they were the best team in football. You were not saying last year Dallas definitely the best team in football.
Defense.
Right. So it's not always just who has the best record. Like that is not.
It's what I saw too.
Correct. That's all I'm saying.
And you know something? What else is in the NFC? Who they had last year? Matty Ice was doing what he was doing in Atlanta.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers was healthy.
Agreed.
So the competition was a lot higher last year than it was this year.
And this year in the NFC, the competition is going to be based on great defenses in Carolina or Minnesota or Seattle, even though they had the fall at the end of the game last week. My point is a simple one. Last year, you looked at it and you said, even though Dallas has the best record.
Because I knew they had some glaring weaknesses.
Right.
And I just happened to be right.
I know you were.
All right,
but
you can't just say every team's the same. Just quickly pick your best team in the NFC. If it's not the Eagles.
Right now, the team that I have the most confidence in the NFC is the Seattle Seahawks, even though they lost yesterday. I'm not going to do the math on every week if you lost. If you show me a trend that the Chiefs now showed a trend. They've lost 3 or 4. You can reevaluate them. But if you wanted to say going into the weekend, in the AFC, for example, Chiefs Chiefs, Patriots, Steelers all have 2 losses. They're not all the same. Someone's better, someone's worse. Like, it's not just based on the record.
All right, we're going to take a quick little
It's
pause.
just not based on the record when your team is not with the best record. That's how that works.
Okay.
Right.
If the Panthers had the best record,
What?
trust me when I tell you.
Stop. He would be jumping up and down on the table.
Time now for some Hall of Fame hands. CC, watch this. Here we go.
Without these hands, I don't know what I'd do.
What's this? Fires it deep. What a catch! Greatest catch I've ever seen.
Sunday Night Football here. Devontae Parker just showing off the catch.
Oh,
Sneak
nice.
it in.
Well, that's a great grab there. Right hand. Devontae Parker really talented. Young wide receiver from Louisville. Stays hurt too much. Now, he's capable of this. 50-50 ball, jump ball, skilled guy. People saying, oh, man, he's out of bounds. No, one leg equals 2 feet.
That was the
one
most-
body part equals 2 feet.
That was the most impressive part of about that catch.
Yeah.
Was that he got in bounds. When I saw that live, I thought